Please, sir.
Very good afternoon. My name is Buddhi Prakash Chauhan. I'm Library Director, and welcome to this session on library services. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. This was primarily a program made on the request of JGB's office for new faculty who have joined recently. But we thought that to invite other faculty also who might have missed the earlier orientation program. So hopefully we are very pleased to see a number of people joining this session. So what we'll do, I'll start with a short presentation about library services, PPT, that I'll share with you. Then I'll be assisted by my colleagues, Jairam Gowda, who will be talking about the access to e-resources. And then by Dr. Ajay Tiwari, who will briefly talk about the e-learning platforms that we manage from the library. And then my colleague Anas, who will talk about the research support to the faculty, including archiving your publications, monitoring or managing your research profiles on the sites that we coordinate or manage library sites. So I'll share my screen on the presentations, and then after the presentations, we'll take your questions. Is this visible screen? Can you see my screen?
Not really, sir.
No, sir, not yet.
Just a minute. All right, so here is my presentation. Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
So this is the presentation which I made for a January session. I'm repeating the same for you. So we'll start with just introducing a few links of the sites that the library manages, and you can access all the services and the collections through these links. You can also Google actually. If you Google JGU Library or JGU Library Catalog or Digital Archives or JGU E-Learning or JGU Resources, you will reach these pages or these websites. So the first one is basically the main library website, http library.jgu.edu, where most of the information you will find there. So I would strongly recommend that before you write or go to the library for any questions, you may explore this website. This is almost 250 pages of the information on the library website, and a lot of help information is available, links are available there. So we hope that most of the information can be accessed right from here. All questions can be accessed, including FAQs, videos, everything is there. So try to spend some time here, and see the information that is available there. The second one is the library catalog site, basically, and this catalog is searchable. This is on the internet, so it can be searched from anywhere in the world, and it lists or catalogs the books as well as e-books that are accessible to us. So the difference between you can search the e-books from the library website also, the e-resources page also, which Jairam will tell you more about it. The difference between the first and the second one is that this is this koha.jgu.edu.in only lists the books that we have purchased or subscribed to. In other websites, you will find other books also. Of course, you can filter them, the one which are accessible to us. So sometimes people confuse that this book is not available to us. So the general e-resource page or the publisher's site for the e-books will include the books that we have not purchased also. Okay, of course, they are indicated separately. You can also filter that. So I think when Jairam presents, you will see the difference. And the fourth one is the JGU Digital Archives, where anything originated in JGU, including your research papers and any other official documents, can be uploaded. This is also managed by us. question papers are also there, past question papers for the benefit of the students. So you can use this this portal for anything that you want to make available to the public, or even to select group, of people to manage complete anything which is digital. This can be used. This is mostly used for the archiving of the research papers here. The final one is the JGU e-learning portal. That again is managed by the library. So you can use this for organizing a classroom teaching or learning management system here. So in short, these are the 4 links that are mainly applicable for the library website, library services. These are the useful context for any information or any help that you want. These are the phone numbers given over here. You can also mail to at this address glus@jgu.edu.in. This is the user services email address. If you want to request any purchase, etc., you can send an email to libraryacquisitions@jgu.edu.in. My request is that if you send your email to these emails, they will be responded quickly. Sometimes people just mail it to everybody in the library, all library staff, or this kind of information. So there may be chances that you may not get response quickly if you do that. But of course you can do that also. But these are the very specific email IDs that can be used. So again, for the assistance with research publications at JGU is the email ID. Assistance with the e-learning portal is the e-learning, and any assistance for access to e-resources, online resources, is e-resources@jgu.edu.in. So these are some of the useful contacts that you can use. So as a new faculty, how do you start basically? You should learn how to access, since most of the classes and the learning is taking place remotely. You should know how to access the library resources remotely. Then some of you might be teaching this semester. Then you should also know how to request course material for your classes at this form. So there's a form link here over here. If you have published something recently after joining JGU, okay, and you need to submit your publications on the digital archives, and this is the link for that. You must register yourself first here. Okay, even if you don't have a publication right now, I think it's a good idea to register and get access to the archives here. And again, there is a research profile portal, irnis.org. There's a separate entity for the JGU, and you can join there. Your profile can be listed over there, and so just go there, and Anas will tell you more about it. And if you want to use library managed JGU e-learning platform for your teaching, write to e-learning@jgu.edu.in. And if anything else, including Turnitin instructor account, you can write to me. So these are the steps you should do if you have not done any of these so far. Let's talk about the teaching resources. We have a policy. What kind of books that you can recommend for your classes. So you should check, what books will we already have. If you can prescribe for your courses those books that we already have, you don't have to buy new books. Okay. The library provides only the textbooks or the e-books that are available on institutional license basis or fixed concurrent user basis. Something which is not only available for individual licenses, the library does not arrange licenses. It must be made clear to the students also. So there may be many titles which are not available for institutional license, like Kindle books or Vital Source books. Okay, so these are available only for individual purchase, and the students should be purchasing those licenses directly from the publishers. Similarly, we do provide print textbooks, but they are not accessible right now. While prescribing a print textbooks, keep in mind the affordability of a book. Ideally, it should be less than 1,000 rupees per book, so that the students can purchase their own copy. Ideally, there should be only one textbook in a course, but exceptionally, you can have two books also. Textbooks. If there is an interactive course material available, if you are taking classes online, try to use interactive courses. We can help you in identifying those course material, something that you have subscribed or something is available in open access through Coursera or any other platforms. If you are including any case rich, particularly the business school faculty, you should know that we have HBS case license only for MBA second year, and the case center cases for all undergraduate classes. So when you prescribe or include any cases, business cases in course manual, make sure that these are from these sources only. If you include HBS cases in your undergraduate classes or even the MBA first year, we have to pay separately, which is very exorbitantly priced. So it must be kept in mind that as far as possible, include only the cases that are licensed for a particular class by us. And if you are including any video material for the online classes, we have arranged license for Amazon Prime, G5, Netflix, etc. If you need to play any videos that is available in DVDs in the library, you should talk to the user services team, and we can actually play those videos during a class time here from the library, and that can be relayed using the MS Team links to your entire class. So I think this has to be arranged prior to a class with the Global Library User Services. You can also share, your own material with the class. Either this can be done through the e-learning system or through emails also. Okay, make sure that you are following copyright regulations. We have a documented JGV copyright compliance policy, and you should look at it, before you have, share your copyrighted material. Ideally, you should not circulate any book, scan pages of the book to the entire class. You should prefer to share links rather than sharing the text. Okay, so these are some of the guidelines that is available in this policy. If you are recommending a book, we have various ways to recommend a book. Ideally, you should recommend a book for your class or for your own personal reading by logging to our catalog system, koha.jgu.edu, and you can also send an email to libraryacquisitions@jgu.edu.in for requesting a book. We also have arranged now a portal for ordering online books, e-books, on EBSCO ebook platform that can also be used. I think Jairam will show you there where you can use this the online ordering system or recommendation system. This is some information about how do we obtain books, and how much time does it take to obtain books. This is basically primarily relevant to the print books. So if you are ordering a print books from USA, it will take at least about 8 weeks time. From UK, it will take about 6 weeks times, which this should be known. If you are recommending a very expensive book, we would normally consult your dean to approve it. Of course, for online books, e-books through EBSCO, if it is approved quickly, we can even make it available within a couple of hours time also. We do order from online bookstores like Amazon or other portals if the books are not available in routine or normal distribution channels, and if they can be obtained, for the similar price as we get from our vendors. So usually we get a lot of discounts from our panel vendors. So unless it's very, very expensive, we can even buy from Amazon or any other online book portals. We do check your recommendation whether it will be useful for a wider audience at JGU and for a long-term basis. If something is required only for a short-term, like for writing a paper or referring to some pages, etc., either we try to get scanned copies of the pages or the chapters, or we can even take such books on interlibrary loan from other libraries where if it is available. If you are requiring a journal, something, you know, I mean, we don't subscribe journal just as and when you recommend. You know, we do it, you know, once a year at the end of the calendar year for the next year, and the library, there is a library committee which examines all the recommendations for the journals, and depending on the funds available for the particular school, we finalize the subscription for journals for the next calendar year. We have a lot of things to support your research, which includes archiving of your research papers, you know, helping with your open access publishing. You might have received an email from me yesterday about that we are arranging open access publishing, free open access publishing in Cambridge journals. So we keep on making such efforts and updating you on such things. And so if you are interested in, you know, affordable open access publishing, we have a lot of information about it. We also manage your research publications and, you know, bring out the analysis, you know, what is H index for various schools and for the university, and provide information for regulatory agencies and for accreditation, etc. Okay, so maybe I think the annual bulletin is due to be circulated, and that I will do maybe in a couple of days' time, and you will receive the bulletin of all the publications in 2020 very soon. The library also purchased and subscribes to a number of research aids, research tools, analytical tools that may be useful for your research, and so this is another service that we provide. And of course, if you need any particular piece of information, you can ask us. You can either through email or through phone or through a chat bot on the library website. You can use any of these things. User services, you know, the library, physical library or the campus library is closed. It's not accessible right now, but you know, there is something urgent. You can tell us, or you can let us know on this email ID GLUS, and to make it accessible for you on through appointment. We also manage reprography while you are on the campus. These are the library hours during normal days, not applicable these days. The library is open till 6:30, I think, these days, and so the staff is there, but it is not accessible to users. It's available only through prior arrangements. There's some of the lending rules. These you can find in details at the library website. Also, all the rules are available there. You can have a look at them. As a faculty, you can borrow as many as 15 books at a time, and reference books also for a day. So again, some of the context over here. If you need any help, you can call us or write to us, or give us a MS Team call for live assistance. Thank you so much. I will now invite my colleague Jairam to tell you more about access to e-resources from within the campus as well as from outside.
Thank you, sir. Let me share my screen. So, can you please confirm if my screen is visible? Hello.
Just a second.
Yeah. Sir, I think you have to stop sharing.
Yeah, just a second. Just a second. Yeah. Okay now?
Ritu ma'am, can you confirm please whether my
Yes,
screen
it
is
Yes.
visible?
Yes, it is visible.
Okay, thank you, sir, and good afternoon, everybody. I'm Jairam from your Global Library. I will take you to the library web page. Uh, Basically, we have like a digital library, and you can say we have hybrid library where we have physical content as well as digital materials, digital resources for you. Things is like that. If you are visiting library, then what you will get and how you will access the physical resources as well as the digital resources. And similarly, when you are away from Jeju network and away from your global library, particularly these days, you have to more or less like depend upon the remote access tools to access library resources. So I will take you how you will able to log into the remote access tools and what are the tools we have. This is library web page. If you will go through the tabs, you will find different services, different resources we have in library. Um, uh, I will take you the basic things and the important things what you are regularly sourcing and you are trying to face the data from the library. If you will see the left hand side, we have some quick links. The quick links are basically the links which are like very frequently used by the users. So we just kept them separately for your convenience. If you will click on the e-resource page, you will see the resources we are subscribing here. They are listed alphabetically. So you can, particularly these resources are subscribed on Jeju IP. So when you are in Jeju network, you can access them uninterruptedly just by clicking the links provided here. But for particularly when you are away from Jeju, so you have to depend upon the remote access. So how you will able to access those? So right now we have EZ proxy. Normally it is called EZ proxy. The tool which provides remote access to the subscribed resources. For that, you have to click on the off-campus access policy and the link here. You can click the link and it will ask you to log in with your credential. So username and password. So username is basically your Koha username. I will show you how and from where you are getting this Koha credential. So you have to use the Koha credential here. Like my Koha credential is like ID is Jairam, and I will put the password provided by library. So I will able to log in the EZ proxy page, where all the resources, particularly those who are available remotely to access remotely, are listed there, and you will access them. Otherwise, there are another way to access the resources of campus. Here, we have remote access tab just next to the resource. So you can click on the remote access tab, and it will ask same thing. It will ask to you to log in. So you have to log in since I am already logged in this page. So it will not you ask again and again to log in and the same browser same time. So you have to just click the remote access tab and log in using your Koha credential, and then either you browse the listed resources are here, e-books like e-resources and e-books, or you can go to the individual link here and you can click here and you can directly go to the resource page and you can perform your task on that resource page. So as I told you, we have you have to have your Koha credential. So what is your Koha credential? When you are registering yourself for library membership, at that time library will provide you a Koha credential like Koha ID and password. That is basically used when you are searching on koha.jeju.edu.in. As Sir told you during his presentation, you have to collect this ID and password from library, and you will use it for various functions. Let it logged in, then I will explain those things to you. This is actually the catalog where you can search the hybrid materials from library, like your print books as well as the e-books, which are basically like subscribed by JGU, either perpetually or subscription basis. So as I told you, this is the your library catalog where you can search the books using this search tab. You can during search you can select the related keyword. Either you know the title or author or subject, and you can put the keyword here and you can perform the search. It will take you to the search result where you can filter further for print copies and e-books and all the things. So as I told you, for login, if you log in here using your Koha credential, it will take you to the page where you can perform certain tasks, like as Sir told you that if you want to change your password, you can change the password here. You can see your summary, what are the books you have right now checked out from library and the due date and all the things. And basically there is a link for purchase suggestion. You can click here if you want to suggest a book to be purchased by library, then you just click on new purchase suggestion, put all the required things and you just submit it. The team, acquisition team from library will respond to your query, and they will update you about the process, like the updates. So similarly, in e-resource page, in other way, this portal is basically for the print books. If you want to suggest a e-books, also you can do it from here. But as Sir told you, we have another option in EBSCO Business Source EBSCO database. When you will click on EBSCO database, it will show you different portals, basically these are the databases from EBSCO. So here you can find e-book faculty portal to access, review and recommend. If you will click here, you will find the same search engine. You can use different keywords. You can search a particular book, what you are trying to locate. If you will you will put any keyword like any keyword. Let me, these are the books on top, different books. So those who are showing like full text means this book is available for us, and the books, those who are not available as, and if you think that this is the book of what you are looking for, you can click on that request this book. It will appear, another form will appear there, and you have to put your details and to submit. So it will directly there is a particular, it is linked to a particular email, and the team will take care of your suggestion. So this is the form. and this is the details. You have to put the star mark area is the mandatory fields. So after that, you have to submit it. It will directly reach to the library, and the library will process it. So similarly, I will take you to other portals.
Jairam, can I intervene just for a minute? So
Sure.
this is another way to recommend ebooks. You know, so you can search the very massive database of the ebooks from EBSCO and online recommend books for ebooks. You know, usually when we place orders for books from this platform, within a couple of hours the books become active to us, books become accessible to us. So this is very fast method to recommend ebooks. We are trying to arrange some other platforms also for recommending ebooks. So this is one way. And we, if somebody is interested, we can organize a separate training program for how to use this platform for recommending ebooks.
Okay, thank you, sir. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, Jairam, carry on.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So as I told you, these are the library tabs for different resources. In the resource tab, you can print. You can click on print resources where we can find the print books in the library. So before going further, I just have an idea to share with you. Before visiting library, if you are searching for a particular copy, print book, so better you just have this link. You just check whether this book is available in library or not using this catalog link. So it will show you whether this book is available at library or not. If available, whether this is checked out to someone else or it's physically available to check out. So before visiting library, I will suggest you to go through this shortchanging. So these are the other links. As sir told you, we have some research and teaching and research aids, basically different tools and softwares. So these are the listed here. So every time when you are looking for a resource, you have to check in info page. We have almost info page for every databases or teaching and research aids and softwares. You will just click on the info page. It will say, it will show you what is the details we have. So if you are searching, going through a research and teaching aids or a software or a tool, you just check the info page. So it will show you how you will able to have these databases or tools when you are in campus or when you are outside of the campus. Similarly, in event page, you will find the past events, the recorded video and audio clips are there. So you can check them for a particular database, for search strategy, or you can have the recording training recordings, particularly for library services and resources. Similarly, we have help tab that is to contact, as sir told you, we have different IDs for a specific task. So always you try to contact those email IDs for a faster response. And we have FAQs related to different services. If you have any query regarding your library user services or your e-resources and remote access services, or even in a learning platform like Moodle, you can go through these questions. I hope maximum queries will resolve here. Else, you can contact us using the email and phone tab link. So similarly, we have some survey and we have user guides, and there is an important link for a live assistant. If you have MS Team, then use MS Team and call us to glus@jeju.edu.in during library hour. We will respond to you in real time, and we will demonstrate all your queries by sharing our screens. And also, if you can see here, we have a live chat boot, the virtual reference library tab. If you will contact through this tab during library hour, we will respond to your query in real time, and hopefully we will resolve the things right there, or will guide you in proper manner to whom you have to contact for your queries. So I think these are the very little things and basic things what you want to know. I just will show you one more tab, that is for ebooks. If you will click on the e-resource page, there is a link for ebooks where we have listed all those databases and other platforms where we have different ebooks. If you know that the particular book belongs to a particular publisher, either in Bloomsbury, OUP, CUP, or Degrooter, you can click here right there and you can search the book. They have different search strategy and different search mechanism. You can click there and you can search. We have also remote access tab here also. If you are searching these databases remotely, then you can click the remote access tab, use your credential, and search the text right there. Similarly, we have two search engines. Actually, these are we are going to develop, not fully utilized right now. We are under construction. So for journals, you can search JGET. And for other, including ebooks, you can use this tab. When you will search using a particular keyword, it will search across the subscribed resources, whatever things we have in library. And,
sorry to interrupt you, Jairam. I think let me further elaborate on this. Jairam explained to you that either you can search the journal databases or ebooks databases one by one also. But these two interfaces facilitate combined search of all the databases or most of the databases. For example, this JGET interface can search all the journals databases in one go. So you don't have to go to each one. If you do not know which particular publishers to search for, you can do a search here and it will take you to all the databases together in one go. So this is a beauty, and this will also search the open access journals also. So if you look at on the right hand side, you can filter your things. If you want to search only the subscribed ones, you can do that. If you want to search only the full text databases that are available, you can do that also. You can filter your search strategy, and you will see all the search results which it has performed on all the subscribed or non-subscribed databases also. So this is a very good way to do a search if you are not very particular about a particular publisher or particular database. Use these search interfaces. Similarly, for the other one is this is from EBSCO. This not only searches journals, but this also searches ebooks as well. Okay, so these are the two interfaces that we have organized, and this is very actually handy. You know, if you are trying to search all the databases in one go. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I think we have covered almost every important aspects of library web page. So if you have any query, you can.
Thank you, Jairam. I think we are running short of time. I'll now request Ajay, Dr. Ajay, to provide a brief information about e-learning platform that we manage.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, please carry on.
Yeah.
Sir, you are audible. You are audible.
Okay, okay, right. So now I'll just I can share my screen.
Sanjay, can you put your camera off?
So now my screen is visible to all. Hello.
Yes, sir, it's visible. It's visible.
Okay. So now I'm just quickly brief about the e-learning platform. So that basically this platform is commonly known as a Moodle, which is an open source software. So now I make it clear to you. It's totally this platform is totally different from the UMS, and this platform managed by the Global Library since 2018, and many of the faculty members, they are using that platform. So till now we have registered 360 courses and the 250 faculty members and 6,000 students approx on that platform particularly. So now we are providing all the blended course materials suggested by the faculty members with the help of various publishers through this platform. So the most important features that we have integrated and that platform, which is one is Microsoft Teams, and so this is basically used for the taking the video conferencing. It's with video conferencing tool for taking the online class, and another feature is plagiarism software. We have already integrated in that particular platform, so it's automatically generate the report once the student can submit their assignment through that platform. So the report will be generated automatically. So faculty member can check one by one the assignment and annotate the PDF and share the marks. It's automatically sent to the particular student. So that basically this platform provides custom learning environment for the student. Instructor can use that platform for creating the lessons, manage courses, and interact with teachers and the student. The course instructor may choose to provide a Wiki, Piazza, group discussion platform, open forum that we have already included in that particular platform. So a student can use that platform, review the class calendar, submit assignments, review peer assignment, take quizzes, attendance, and group chat, survey, and many more features are available on in that particular platform. So now my screen is here. So this is the e-learning platform main home page. So the student can find the course related to his subjects. So those who are using that platform, so the course is visible in the main e-learning home page. So here they can find the courses. The many faculty members, they are not using that platform, so the course will not be visible or appear on his screen. So how to register, how to access the platform, as my colleague has already told you. So we have given the FAQs on that particular e-learning. Here you can find the information, how to get the access, how to register the course. So here you can find your information related to the e-learning, and we have already created the separate pages for e-learning. So here we have given all the information. So So here you can provide your JG email ID for access that platform. I will show you how to do that, how to log in. As an instructor, so after login, the page will be appear on your screen. So here you can find your courses. I'm logging to as an admin. So just let's show you how to go to your courses. So we have suppose. So this type of dashboard appear on your screen. So this is the course which we have created for the faculty members. So as the teachers, showing the teachers, those who are using this. So first you need to click on that turn edit on. So all the features will be on in your courses. So the faculty members have faculty uploaded all the content related to his courses for the users. How to upload the courses is the button add an activity courses button is there, so just click on that. So here's the all the features will appear on your screen, whatever you want, like attendance, assignment, for big blue button, certificate generation, e-voting, feedback, forum, whatever you want, you may select that button particularly and add in your course. Here I can show you how one feature is there.
Thank you. Ajay. I think we are running short of time. I think we have to make another presentation. Sure. So I think those who have any questions can write to elearning@jgu.edu for their questions or for registration. If you want, those who want to have a class on e-learning, they can write to Ajay on this.
So sir, I request to you please add some inputs on this if you have.
Thank you, Ajay.
Okay, sir.
Can now request Syed Anas Ali, my colleague, who will talk about research publications and other support services that we provide.
Thank you very much, sir. Good afternoon to all. My name is Syed Anas Ali, and I'm looking after some of the services we offer for the Global Library. I'm just sharing my screen. Yes, sir. Can you confirm whether my screen is visible to you?
Yes, Syed. Yeah.
Okay. So first of all, I'm going to tell about something about the anti-plagiarism services we are providing in JGU. So the services is through the we are offering Turnitin software service to check the similarity reports of students and to check the research papers for faculty members. So all the faculty members are provided the anti-plagiarism service through Turnitin. They can send a request to turnitin@jgu.edu.in to get the account made in the Turnitin account. And there are some Turnitin guides available here on the library website. The faculty can directly go to the guide and check how to create an account and how to run that account and how to run the similarity reports. We also have some FAQs, ready-made answers from faculty and students, which the faculty and students have asked some questions in to us through emails. So if you are not able to find the answer to the query you have, you can also write it back to us to turnitin@jgu.edu.in. Students are not provided Turnitin account to the library. So the faculty themselves can add students to their account if they are inviting assignments to from directly from student to Turnitin. And if their students are less, like not more than 20, so they can directly take the assignments to through email also and submit it directly to the Turnitin account through the faculty created classes. So this is about Turnitin. And the next thing we have is the IRNS database service. So the library creates the INS profiles of the faculty. This is actually a researcher profile, Indian Researcher System. This is Department of Infilbinet, which is located in Gujarat, run by the government of India. So they have made it this system, and we are creating faculty profiles of our faculty of JGU in the system. So all the faculty which have publications, they can send a request to publications@jgu.edu.in to create their profile here. We already have 298 faculty members here. So the things which are available in these profiles, like I will show you example. This is a profile of Dr. Sanjeev Sahni. So after you have given the academic IDs like ORCID ID, Scopus ID, Researcher ID, so you will automatically get all the citations or metrics and scholars H-index fetched here. Like here you can see the citations from Scopus, 4 citations H-index, and the cross-reference citation, the L-matrix, which is fetched from Google Scholar, like Mendeley, Twitter, then Facebook, and then we have the